at all costs, national security, a person who react trends, maybe the week because it's in national security and as honorable at their point. But this time, our national security, biome, and when you may, nay, okay, tell me, the former Bank of Ghana governor, Dr. Addison, and I just say, Owako Defie, Rambo Star Action, Cats. Hi, GHC 24. Let's know. So be me a subscribe button so now click the bell notification icon and snappy follow here. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, baby, gossips24.com and gossips24 TV. Now feel free. So bet you your comment section or share video so I'm for so in be ahead. And here go straight to the story. So national security ever since our new government see His Excellency John Ahmad Mahama administration ever power. We've seen national security. The most recent one, I just say, of course, Honorable Ken Ofori-Atta, former finance minister, if he just say Omokoye in his absence, and the CCTV footage in better social media, so who say Mr. Richard Jakpa as CEO normal appointed as director of special operations or national security actually to a year kaka the 20 shen ho Obuko Fienimu come marching for actually now say majority leader at our parliament ever apologize say at the question there na enye what I say omo bisa any power sanction operation no I say omo atoto papa so into patrol omo apologize to a former finance minister Ken Ofori-Atta into omo sre omo fan check no munjai e maninka enu akwa what I say e man make say can chevi fa de nkwa na so na niwe e na sami bisa hu say Dr. Ernest Kwamina Yedu Addison and so just na oye former Bank of Ghana governor if he honomo so omo ready honomo e say news item ne say any papa back almost 20 there. But almost say 20. Led by Mr. Richard Jakpa. And it's Mr. Richard Jakpa, as I mentioned earlier, and as a director of special operations or national security. And I just say, Henry Riemu, Omoko, a former Bank of Ghana governor, Efie, Dr. Addison, Efie. No, Omoko, Dr. Addison, Efie, or baby, Omoko first, CCTV cameras, no, because Ken Ofori-Atta the most young and save him. Se on be free akono mu the CCTV footage da ba beto abonten ya de mo sek mo tutu e ho no mo confess ade so mo tutu ye picture sim da ho screen so no mo tutu ye no e na mo ticha mo comfort Dr. Addison say doctor yes vault bi o fie vault e na ho screen so in fact vault no esikafo no e de musika e hyehye no de mo the password ato aba pen na de sika no hye say ne asisi ya da pa fa de anhye vault mu ayi ye nya kwan wi aye no what say o de hye vault no a nkofo nya kwan enye dey ewia ntia mo question Dr. Addison say doctor yes vault bi wo fie why in the world doctor feel on more this information e bomb say vault ho abu beka we to mom yes vault wo fie che vault ni be vault ni wo che e ko wi ase no na doctor cha vault bi ani ni fie ntia ndie call by e mo apologize to Dr. Addison o mo apologize here no mo ka sebe so wa anso wa cars ba mi ensa de o mo fa de koye eche no mo say friend Dr. Addison be 4:30 mo be say ye de o ka na si kwan mu o ko na ko fa ka no and so mo cha call no if Mr. Richard Jakpa ho anapay minority leader at the parliament honorable Afenyo Markins at a press conference o chemu say enya ka no kwa na mo de koja si akwantifi mo friend Dr. Addison so befa na mmom Dr. Addison yere asomade kra no ekọ o alaje kra po say 10,000 Ghana cedis bi so just na da name palliative fi baby so ekọ for the vanishing what I say enyo ma ekọ de Dr. Addison na ne betumi ache na mmom none of Afenyo Markins or Dr. Addison fie ntana pay enkomo obo we see na edi.
Good morning our friends in the media. This morning the minority caucus is here to express its concerns about the growing lawless conduct of our national security operatives who the government has unleashed on opponents, particularly the MPP appointees of former President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. The aim of this is to intimidate and frustrate them. We've heard of some raids, and in some cases these so-called security operatives rob these officials when they are leaving their premises. First was a raid on the home of the former finance minister, Ken Oforiatta, led by one Japa, Richard Japa, a known NDC activist who describes himself as Director of Operations at the National Security. The majority leader, when this matter came before Parliament, apologized on the floor of the House in respect of this lawless conduct. At dawn yesterday, specifically at 5 a.m., Mr. Richard Japa was at it again. This time, he led armed men to the residence of Dr. Addison, the former governor of the Central Bank. According to Japa, he had a warrant to search the premises of Dr. Addison at his Roman Ridge residence. Again, when Dr. Addison inquired from him, he told him that he was looking for a vault, which to them the man had some money, cash in it. They forced their way, overpowered the security, and entered his premises. This Rambo style approach must cease. This is the first time in the history of our country that a governor of a central bank is being subjected to such a treatment. Very traumatizing. In fact, at the end of their raid, they could not find anything. Unfortunately for the governor, some 10,000 cedis on his bed could not be found. So some of these hungry party foot soldiers that they use, who parade themselves as national security operatives, are after all perhaps not even being paid, and they use this opportunity to steal. The governor's wife's earrings and necklaces were also not traced. They couldn't be found. In other words, those operatives stole these earrings and necklaces. Ghana is a mature democracy, and we should do better. 3 cars, official vehicles of the governor, were also taken away, only to be informed later that they've been parked somewhere, so he should send his drivers to go and pick them. Around 4:30, a call came from this same Richard Japa. Now, the question is, why this? Like we indicated earlier, our country has no room for lawlessness. These actions undermine democracy and weigh down investor confidence. If you have people investing in your country and they see these things happening to appointees, obviously it will lead to capital flight. Even the citizens of Ghana will not feel safe. They will withdraw from the financial sector. They will not keep their money here, and that would affect governance and the growth of our economy. We call on government to quickly bring a stop to these dastardly acts. These acts of intimidation and terror are relics of the past. they have no place in our democracy. Soon it could lead to some self-protection mechanisms from citizens and people whose lives and property feel threatened. We are a nation of laws. Even legitimate investigations or inquiries should be done in accordance with the law. We are not against accountability, but we are against human rights abuses and lawless conduct and excesses of the security operatives of the state. NDC should not reduce this country to a lawless state where people believe they can take the law into their own hands and intimidate others. Today, they have won 87 seats and they have the presidency. They should not forget, now not long ago, we had 169 and also had the presidency. They shouldn't forget that not long ago, they had 133 seats and we had only 61 seats when we had a 200-member chamber. They should not forget that within 4 years, our 61 increased to more than 100 seats and we were in majority in this chamber. This vicious cycle of using power to intimidate must cease. I conclude by calling on President John Dramani Mahama. We know him as a moderate politician, respected politician. He served his country, had a first term, lost elections. The Ghanaian people have given him another mandate to do his final term, which is a constitutional power mandate given him. He should leave a legacy. Your Excellency President John Dramani Mahama, please leave a legacy. Let it be said that even if there were excesses in the exercise of executive power, when you had opportunity, you change it for good and own that legacy in your name, Your Excellency. We're tired of the intimidation, the attacks, and the hypocrisy. We were told that Jakpa's first attack on Kenoforiata was not authorized. Today, the same Jakpa leading armed police, armed military, and so-called party thugs who parade on the streets of Accra as security operatives, terrorizing and traumatizing a respected Ghanaian citizen who has dedicated the better part of his life to serve his country. Now, to Dr. Addison's dear wife, we say to you that take it easy. God be with you and your entire family. In fact, let me add that I visited the family last night around 10:30 p.m. I was with them. Dr. Addison himself, though traumatized, was hearty and he's taking things easy. I went round, saw the property, and in fact also had the opportunity of visiting his office where the CCTV monitor was, and it was unfortunate the way Jakpa and his men carried themselves, dismantling the CCTV monitor. If indeed they knew that they were on a lawful path, why dismantle the CCTV monitor? Why take the monitor away and all? I believe that we don't need this as a country. Meanwhile, We also want to register this protest regarding the arrest of Oketechie Afrifa Mensah last night. Although he was released last night, we strongly protest his arrest by state security operatives in that Rambo style. Let's enforce the laws with a human face. We rest our case. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Now, the problem here is, right, Senior Honorable Afenyo Markins or Mr. Richard Dakpa catch Dr. Addison say, or warrant Emma search no legitimate, right? If you are conducting a legitimate search, I mean, with some police service say, even almost 10 years my body comes on, almost quite a very recommend them also bet me at 10 more cameras on, some more cameras will have legitimate search, we warrants in the say, bet me about searching, ufi, what I say, am I acquiring your search ufi, you shouldn't have any problem with CCTV cameras, but immediately, Uber temper with CCTV cameras. No, you can request for the footage. Say, oh, and some more CCTV cameras. Okay, you per footage, ABR records to assist with your investigations. No, you per footage. You the hard drive by. You per copy of footage. You know, records from so and so day to so and so day. Because more your investigations, it may be some corrupt activities. Say, be on Dr. Addison, no, involved. And I'm when your information say, be we cried the scar burner on this near there. What is it? So you can request the CCTV and you can request the CCTV records. Say send them you're interested now. Instead of tampering with the CCTV cameras, no. Say maybe a storage, you know, maybe a camera, no, a record be a kogu, instead of saying send no. You can just request the footage if any interested. But once I was saying that means that there's something you are hiding. That means that there's something you are hiding. That's the impression all these gives, you know. And the previous one, I'm apologizing for. This one too, no. And it's on about Afenyo Markins, my press conference, or no. Of course, I'm apologizing for. Just as Honorable Afenyo Markins can say, call by, it's a first call, no. Or more apologizing to Dr. Addison. So for the mistake, after say, or when who vote to be out of you, no. No more can say, can or more conquer. It's a reason, no. I'm sure apology, beba. What I say. But yeah, Mr. Richard Dakpa say no warrant. No, I am an whole kind son searching. Say legitimate. You don't touch the CCTV. You only request the footage and proceed with your investigations. Ahai Gossips 24. Magraheb.